Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Tobago. I'm Davia Chambers, and we are so glad you could join us today as we explore Scarborough, Tobago's bustling capital. It's got some awesome views, it's always buzzing with activity, and of course it's a very important part of Tobago's fascinating history and heritage. And while we're taking in the sights and the sounds of Scarborough, we'll also share with you all the major stories of the past week. So let's get started with this week's headlines. Belle Garden residents host a celebration as their new multipurpose facility is commissioned. Tobago is taking a unique approach to dealing with discipline in schools. A university for Tobago. We'll tell you how the island's leaders feel about the idea. And later, one school is elated as the president keeps her promise to pay them a visit. All these stories and more when Let's Talk Tobago returns. Stay with us.
Times. Summer garden, 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 yeah, summer garden.
Before the 20th century, there were many battles among the English, French and Dutch for control of Tobago. And with its spectacular, elevated view of a long stretch of coastline, it is not surprising that Scarborough was a key target of those battles. It was originally named Lamsenburg after two Dutch brothers. Our first story takes us to the village of Belle Garden. This community has welcomed the newly commissioned Belle Garden multipurpose facility, which expands the possibilities for community development. It's all in this story. A spanking new multipurpose facility has been delivered to the people of Belle Garden by the Tobago House of Assembly in fine cultural style. The facility has a computer room, a large kitchen, an audiovisual room, a training room, and a physical layout that allows the hosting of events simultaneously.
We see this multipurpose facility not only as another community asset, but one which will contribute tangibly to the development of the social and economic well-being of the people in the community.
The Division of Community Development, Enterprise Development and Labor has adopted a new management model for the operations of multipurpose facilities, including this new one,
with the engagement of multipurpose facility coordinators. These officers have general oversight for the implementation of management systems to ensure the effective and efficient operation of the facility, and they work in collaboration with all community groups for the scheduling of activities and events.
The hope is for the center to be a buzz of activity in the community.
I know that the people of Belle Garden carry a great sense of pride about their community and their contribution to the Tobago landscape. I have absolutely no fear that this facility will be adequately utilized. In fact, it may even be overutilized because I understand there are about 22 groups in the community.
In September 2017, the sod was turned for the Belle Garden multipurpose facility. Construction, however, started in November 2017. The facility cost over $13 million. On any given day, Scarborough is filled with life and activities. It's a hub for business, goods, and even public services, with public spaces and sporting venues too, as well as a place for learners of all ages, the state-of-the-art Scarborough Library facility. And speaking of learners, students who display troubling behavior at school now have a place to go that will help them prepare for reintegration into the school system. The facility was recently launched at Hope Farm Road. Here's more.
When students get suspended, that time is often spent away from school and sometimes less productively. This is set to change in Tobago with the opening of a Learning Enrichment Center at Hope Farm Road. The center will provide academic support and counseling for students who are on suspension, those who have committed multiple offenses, and those at risk of expulsion. Chief Secretary Kelvin Charles who is also Secretary of Education, Innovation and Energy, says the center is an experimental initiative.
As we engage in the various activities that are designed for here, we will measure the impact of those activities and adjust accordingly. It is intended to provide short-term, intensive programs for students who require intervention beyond the capacity of a mainstream classroom.
The Learning Enrichment Center is part of the division's efforts to create a student-centered learning environment at every school, even if a child is on suspension. Tobago Region PTA Chairman Denise Nelson Frank says the island's PTA is in full support of the initiative.
As we are aware of the Ministry of Education's mandate to have at least one learning enrichment center in each educational district. This one is in Hope, a location east of the stadium with a name that should signify all is not lost for the students who would be assigned here from time to time.
The facility will cater to the individual needs of each student and ensure a smooth re-entry into the classroom.
At this center, the students will be exposed to individual and group counseling and skill building specially tailored to them, each individual. It's not a quick fix. It will take time. It's individual. It is my greatest hope that the center will be utilized to its full potential. As the saying goes, excellence is a journey and discipline is the vehicle.
The Learning Enrichment Center is an initiative of the Division of Education, Innovation and Energy. It's expected to be functional by the beginning of February. I'm Kern De Freitas for Let's Talk Tobago.
The capital hugs the shoreline of Rockley Bay to form the Scarborough Harbour. The harbour has been in use for centuries, which is why part of it is still known as Dutch Fort. The harbour now accommodates major cruise liners and local fast ferries. Now this, a university for Tobago was proposed at the most recent plenary sitting of the Tobago House of Assembly. It drew lively debate from the island's leaders. Here's more.
At her first motion in the Tobago House of Assembly chamber on Thursday, 24th January 2019, Minority Councillor Dr. Faith B. Israel moved a motion under private business seeking support for the establishment of a University of Tobago. She proposed that the university should marry tertiary education and tourism, as she believes this will assist in diversifying the national economy.
Madam Presiding Officer, let me be clear. What we are proposing is a University of Tobago, developed in Tobago, that focuses on Tobago-specific developmental issues as part of its work, but aimed at attracting both local and foreign students to fill its classrooms. We envision having community-specific campuses spread throughout the island and not just a single concentrated campus in one area. We envision building on what is already established in Tobago by partnering with internationally recognized tertiary institutions to ensure that we do not start from scratch.
She said the university should have 4 faculties: food production, marine and environmental studies, innovation and business development, arts, culture and tourism, and public applied and alternative health. But the idea of a University of Tobago is not a new one, and this was made clear by the Secretary of Tourism, Culture and Transportation, Councillor Nadine Stewart Phillips, in her response to Dr. Israel's motion. Secretary Phillips said the minority councillor didn't even give credit to those who would have started work on establishing a University of Tobago.
But the truth is, Madam Presiding Officer, significant discussions were held, a position paper was presented, recommendations were accepted for the establishment of a University of Tobago, and there was not one mention of the hard work that was done prior by the minority councillor in her entire contribution.
It was during a media briefing in March 2013 when former THA Chief Secretary Mr. Orville London said the Tobago Hospitality and Tourism Institute, THTI, would have been the core for the establishment of the University of Tobago because it deals with an area of study that was critical to Tobago's development, being already accredited, possessing regional and international recognition, and having the potential to attract students from all over the world. He said it was just to build on this by adding other areas of study so that Tobago ends up with a university that does not only cater for the needs of Tobagonians in specific areas, but also serves as a tourism-oriented product, bringing visitors to Tobago over an extended period. At the sitting, the THA Executive Council proposed amendments to the motion brought by the minority councillor. The amended motion was subsequently passed. I'm Patricia Nicholson for Let's Talk Tobago.
President Paula May Weeks made her second official trip to Tobago, and during her stay, she delights one primary school with her visit. This story is coming up right after these messages. Stay with us. A short commute away from the harbour, you'll find the Scarborough Esplanade. It's a large, open public space with an ocean view and hosts a variety of events, including concerts, expos, and even public education sessions. Now, President of Trinidad and Tobago, Paula May Weeks, recently made her second official visit to the island. And as promised, she met with some very special young people during her trip. Here's the story.
On her second official visit to Tobago, President Paula May Weeks made it a priority to visit the Lambo Anglican Primary School. She was fulfilling her promise to spend some time listening to a medley of songs performed by the school's award-winning choir. The students performed a soulful rendition of God Bless Our Nation for President Weeks. It's a national song that highlights positive aspects of the country and promotes good leadership. The young voices gave a glimpse of their repertoire with If I Could Give a Gift, Everyone Makes Mistakes, The Bold Weevil, and an encore of For Just a Little While. President Weeks says she's delighted with the students' performances.
These songs were marvelous. Most of them I did not know. But the diction in the singing was so clear, I understood every word. The phrasing of the song was so clear that one could follow the idea without difficulty. It was wonderful. I congratulate you, even without hearing of the various prizes you had won in competitions, and so clearly you are competition first-class choir.
Miss Weeks is the country's first female president and the sixth president overall. The Lambo staff and students were delighted that she kept her promise to visit.
This morning I was elated. It was like a special moment for me.
Well, it was very exciting. It was a new experience, and I hope that I will be able to do it again.
We feel motivated because, as I said in her inaugural speech, she said that she's going to serve with humility, and she made true to her promise. We feel great.
A welcome ceremony at the Assembly Legislature was also on the President's agenda while visiting the island. I'm Amadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
Construction on this facility began in October 2002 and was completed in October 2005. It comprises 16 single-story vendors units like Ioli African Collections, a pavilion, restrooms, and paved walkways. Now, organizations and the public sector teamed up to bring youth development straight to young Tobagonians, and the Youth School Expo is being hailed as a resounding success. Crystal George tells us more.
I think it can really help young people, youth like myself, to be inspired and, to just empower us and teach us about new things.
That's Sia Cipriani, a Bishop's High School student who participated in the Division of Sport and Youth Affairs' first Youth Group School Expo. The expo is aimed at exposing students to various clubs and community-based organizations and to encourage young people to play a bigger role in their communities.
The initiative for today is to get students involved in community-based groups. Our aim is to take youth that not involved in any community projects or not involved in any youth organization, and to show them and introduce them to more groups that in the community.
The Excel Promotions and Oceano Dragon Boat team are two organizations seeking to make a difference on the island. They believe it's important to sensitize youth about ways in which they can give back while having fun.
We use entertainment as a vehicle to sponsor charitable work, charitable events, as well as community-based teams. It's a great initiative by the Division of Youth and Sports. Why I say that is because besides a networking opportunity for myself, it's also an opportunity for young children to know that there are other things to do except the usual, meaning that we are an unusual group. We are a promotion team, but we do more charity work than promotion.
We're seeing where out of this initiative here today, we can get some young people, more young people onto our youth team, so we can push the level of sport a little higher on the island. It's a sport that you have to be very attentive, you have to be able to listen to commands. And this is something that could impact the youth in a very, very positive way.
The students were excited to learn more about different organizations and their functions, including Bishop's High School student Dwayne Roberts and Goodwood High School student Michaela Slater.
My day is going very good, and I think this is a good initiative because this will help children know about our culture in Tobago and all the different activities.
Today is really exciting, and it gets to help younger people in life, like what they want to be in life, and different agencies like I never before seen. And it's really exciting, and I would like to learn more about other agencies.
The expo started at Bishop's High School and also had stops at Goodwood High School and Speyside High School. I'm Crystal George for Let's Talk Tobago.
From Lower Scarborough, a steep climb up Burnett Street brings you to Fort King George. Fort King George was built in the early 1700s as a suitable defense to the capital, Scarborough. Now, about 3 years ago, a group of senior citizens took up poetry writing as a pastime. Now they're published authors. They recently celebrated the launch of their first book of poems. Omadara Mills brings us the details.
Hey, seniors can write poetry too.
That's the title of the book of poems recently launched by the Golden Members Poetry Club. The book features 5 sections covering life experiences, perspectives on death, self-reflections, fashion, culture, and nature. The 8 contributing seniors are delighted with the end product of their efforts.
I'm excited because I've been writing since I was 16 years of age, and it was really good to have my work finally published along with the other authors.
It gives me a good feeling. I feel good. Yeah, we did something, we accomplished something.
The accomplishment is that I'm glad that we had the privilege to write this book,
The club's facilitator, Patricia Whiteman, says she's honored to achieve this milestone.
I look forward to being with them all the time because I learn so much. Words cannot really describe how I'm feeling. When we started this project, my desire was that none of them pass away before holding that book, because we worked so hard. I wanted them to see and hold the fruits of their labor. And so today I'm thanking God that He would have granted me that desire.
The Golden Members Poetry Club began as an initiative of the Scarborough Library facility in 2016. Club members range from their 50s to their 80s. During the launch at Fort King George, patrons praised the poets for sharing their perspectives with the world.
This program is about exporting the indigenous to the world, because they are now on the world stage. And so it's really all the indigenous, because the poetry that they write is about their experiences from Tobago.
AA seniors can write poetry too, costs $200. Copies are available at Sure Things Cafe in Lambo or from any of the Golden members. The club's facilitator can be contacted at 868-714-0924. For more information on the book, you can also send your emails to patriciawhiteman370@gmail.com. I'm Amadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
There is a new hangout in the East established by the Argyle community for the Argyle community. You'll hear more about it when we return after this break. Stay with us.
Come, there we go to Tobago, that paradise from by Robinson Crusoe. And it is said it's the land of tomorrow. Princess Margaret say, come Tobago for holiday. Now the whole world say, come Tobago for holiday.
Fort King George has an ideal location with advantageous views of Scarborough, Bacalet, and the windward coast of Tobago. So the Argyle Waterfall is a popular attraction for visitors to Tobago, and now the community has taken the initiative to give guests and locals alike another reason to visit. Here's this story.
At a maximum height of 175 feet, it's the highest waterfall in Tobago. It's surrounded by lush green foliage and is a favorite of both locals and visitors. Now, the location also has a new sports bar at the entrance, a place where everyone can eat, drink, and refresh themselves, whether they are heading to the waterfall or just passing through.
We felt as a board that we needed to expand and we need to up our product that we were putting out to our citizens and visitors alike. And it is for this reason we embark on establishing this project, which will be launched tonight as the Waterhole Bar.
THA Presiding Officer Dr. Denise Sawyer-Fat-Angus was also at the commissioning ceremony. She says she is proud of the fact that this work was done by the people of the community.
This facility is here. Yes, they built it, but they didn't build it for themselves. They built it for the community. And we cannot just expect that it will be tourists who will come to utilize the facility. The facility has been built for all the people of Roxborough and environs to enjoy.
It's also a place that will add to the visitor experience for guests that come to Argyle.
Argyle Waterfall provides tourist guest service to thousands of visitors on the island of Tobago. It is one of the places where you will have accurate record of tourist arrival.
The project was undertaken by the Roxborough Estate Visitors Services Corporation Society Limited. I'm Crystal George for Let's Talk Tobago.
Scarborough, with all its landmarks, historical sites, and new developments, is a must-see during any tour of Tobago. A visitor's favorite is Fort King George, the highest point of Scarborough, which gives you a fantastic view in any direction. Now, this week we continue with our Let's Talk Tobago Carnival segment. We hope you enjoy.
Ready there, sawa sawa. We are
up my jacket, I come to get showered. We are the ones that have fun. Put your hands in the air. To the left, to the right, to the left, to the right. Everybody sing along. Hey. Anything that you do for me, I do for you. If you give love to me, I give love to you 10 times over. 10 times, nobody else there. Baby, love. Tell me about it. Tell me you need me. 10 times over. Keep it right there, hey. And I'm gonna tell you about you. And I'm gonna tell you you need me. Sing the high, high, high part.
And it's now time to have Your Say, the segment of our program where we hear from you, the viewers. We'll now have a look at who had their say this week.
No one to ask a question. What's the question?
The name is A.
It's one of you spelling things.
That's a quick question, nothing.
That's not, hold on.
I'm waiting for the money for the question now.
It's that time again. It's Have Your Say time again. And the question we're asking today is, what are you mostly looking forward to in this year's Interdepartment Calypso and Personality Competition? Now, Interdepartment is a competition that is held every single year around this time where divisions from the THA take part in a little bit of friendly rivalry. This is what you said.
I'm looking forward that the Division of Sports and Youth Affairs put youth first, place first overall, and that everybody just bring out their talents and motivations and just have a good time.
I'm looking forward mostly to the personality competition because men are involved this year.
I'm really looking forward to the opportunity to really mingle with some of my co-workers from the different divisions. I see the Interdepartment as an opportunity for workers within the THA to really have opportunity to come and, I guess, interact with each other in a social atmosphere.
And I'm also looking forward to our personality taking the crown and our Calypsonian taking the crown of the queen of a clean sweep by the department.
I am looking forward to the friendly rivalry among the THA competitors.
And expecting that my Calypsonian from the division as well as the personality to be on top.
I'm mostly looking forward to the talents and basically just the vibes.
And also looking for good calypsos, strong music and good lyrics.
That every person have fun, enjoy themselves, and most important,
our representatives from community development to bring home the crown again.
Vibes.
Yeah, fun. You know, the friendly competition between divisions, and yeah, I mean, this year is a different vibe you're getting. So I'm looking forward to it. Come the 21st, we out there. Sport and youth, look for we.
Winning.
We close yet another edition of Let's Talk Tobago, and as always, we thank you for watching. Please email us with your comments or queries about the program, and be sure to visit our website, like our Office of the Chief Secretary Facebook page, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. From our house to yours, I'm Davia Chambers, along with the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly, wishing you a safe and very productive week.